so just want to make this video. I just want to mention one thing before I start. Man, people say I should get a life. Yeah. You got so many people getting offended by that video that I made about a game. Damn, some of you wokies have got issues, seriously. Get a job. So, as the title says, why? Because I want to, as I said with this channel, I want to talk about other things. Why I will never ever support the game key card garbage in the digital only era. I'm going to get into a lot of things because I don't support it. I honestly don't. I'm just using this case as an example. So, digital only. There's many problems with digital only. One, you don't own anything. Two, if I buy a video game and it sucks, like this, if I bought a game like this and it sucked, on digital, I'm basically now stuck with it. That's basically if you buy it digital. If you buy this digital and it sucks, you are now stuck with it and you cannot make any money off of it. You cannot gain the money back that you spent. So that's one downside to it, which again, a lot of people support the digital age, and again, it's all part of that mark of the beast garbage. It really is. That's what it's part of. So yeah, just give me a minute. So yeah, I'm going to get into why I don't support game key cards and why I don't support the digital age. I'm going to get into why. One, game key cards, the downside about it, one, you don't own it. Two, whenever the servers shut down, basically game key cards are useless. Nintendo's track record, what's up? Nintendo's track record has been that they shut servers down, they shut the Nintendo Wii eShop down, so they shut the Nintendo 3DS shop down. So if you own games digital and delete them off your console, you can no longer download them again. They're gone. Here's something for an instance. Resident Evil, just give me a second and I'll put it on the setting. Chat photo, all messages. So, 2, Resident Evil Resistance. I'm sure everyone's played that. When the servers were that game, even though I own it on my PlayStation account, basically even though I own that game on my PlayStation account, I can't access it. Even though I downloaded it and it's in my account, I can't access it. So that's the problem with digital only crap. 2, that's completely anti-consumer. You don't own it. They can take it away anytime that they want. So therefore you pay money. You might as well just rent games. That's really what digital only is. You're just renting games, and hello. You're literally just renting games. That's what digital only is. You're just renting games. Now if people prefer digital only, that's their choice, but This is not just video games. There's many things with digital only. Well, to the people that accept digital only, the future is that if you accept digital only, money doesn't exist. That's the next step that they want. They want to get rid of money. That's what they want to get rid of. They want to get rid of money. Because when money doesn't exist, that's more control. The government, even in the UK, they have things in Parliament and that, basically, where they can basically track your money and stop you from spending a certain amount, which that again is taking away people's rights. But again, the modern person of today just doesn't care. They don't care that the rights are being taken away from them. They'll happily let the government monitor everything that they're doing. The stuff that's going on with the UK government, basically where they can track and stop what you spend, this age verification crap, their digital ID card in the UK, it's basically just preparing you for the people talk about the big brother, the monitoring. We've already got that. We've honestly already got that. The big brother system, it's already in place. There's already technology with the ID, facial recognition, fingerprint. They want to go digital. And we're going to get into the game keycards as well. With the game keycards, these devs keep making up excuses over and over again that the reason why many games are on game keycards is because the Switch 2 can't handle the SSD. The SSD is slower on the cartridge. This is the biggest load of BS that I've ever heard from these devs. These devs are complete liars. That's what they are. They're complete liars. And they're like, oh, the SSD can't handle it, yet you have Cyberpunk that runs at almost 4K and can run at a stable 30 frames per second or higher at certain times. That was perfectly fine. They could fit the full game on the cartridge. And all these Nintendo fanboys and all that are just believing the excuses that Nintendo and these third-party companies keep believing. If people accept this, PlayStation will do it next. Xbox has already done it. Xbox doesn't care about physical media at all. But again, the average person that's digital, if people want to be digital only, that's perfectly fine. But to those people, what I say is don't complain when a game gets delisted or removed from your account, because you agree to those terms when you sign up to PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, PC, Steam. You agree to those terms, so they can easily go into your account at any time and take that game out of your library, and there's nothing you can do about it. The government can do it as well. With, like I said, this AI technology, basically age verification crap, but it's just they're preparing you more and more further for that chip. Because if people don't know, that chip, that's what they want. The RFID microchip, everyone's obviously heard about it now, almost probably everyone in the world. That's the last step. Why do you think movies, everything is moving towards a subscription service for a reason? They want to get rid of physical media because physical media, they say, is dying, yet Silent Hill, you can look at so many games and they sell millions physical, yet they want to say physical media is dying because they want to push this agenda so you have no control over anything that you own. like with this, like I said, if I wanted to get rid of this, honestly, if I wanted to get rid of this and I had it digital, I'm stuck with it. Physical media, I can literally get rid of this game if I really wanted to and get at least some money back for it. Digital, you can't, you're stuck with it. You can't get a refund. Even with Steam, you can't get a refund. So yeah, digital game keycard crap as well. All these people supporting the game keycards are the problem, because they're going to continue to keep doing this. They're going to continue to keep basically, and what's up, man? I forgot what I was saying now. That's what I was saying. They're going to continue to create these things, man. Like, as I said, these are not the only physical games that I own. I own many physical games. Death Stranding. Basically, they put the full game on the disc. PlayStation, Nintendo, it's the third parties that are doing it. It's not Nintendo, it's the third parties. The third parties are the ones basically saying, hey, we're going to keep doing game key cards because it's due to greed. All it is down to is control. So you have no control, you own nothing, and you'll just be happy about it. And these Nintendo fanboys that I've seen defending this, like, oh, there's a reason Final Fantasy VII Remake is a game keycard. It's because the game's over 100 gig. They could easily, it's called optimization. They could have optimized that game to fit on the full cartridge. And these people that keep saying this, I say, well, Final Fantasy probably couldn't fit on it. What's the excuse for Bravely Default and the rest of the Square Enix games? Oh, they don't have an excuse for that one, do they? They don't have an excuse. It's, oh, let's just be a shill. Let's defend let's just defend these companies. And then they wonder why this is continuing. It's not gonna, these game keycards are not gonna stop, because they're pushing a agenda to get you to accept the digital age where you own nothing. They're already doing it with money, where, because if you look online, bills, everything's online now. That's what they want. They're moving that way in the UK, basically, where you're going to be forced to do everything online. So all the old people, that they don't, the government don't care about them. They know nothing about technology, but that's what they want, so they can just monitor you, steal your information, sell it to third parties, because that's what they do. A lot of these companies, they sell your information. The only consoles that I have is a PS5, PS4, PS3. Did have a Nintendo Wii at one point, but I don't know where it went when I moved. The Switch 1, Switch 2, none of these things are connected to the internet. Every game that I own is on the disc. If it's not on the disc, I get rid of it, because it's just garbage, man. It really is. There's more games. Even though this game was woke, this physical, 4 games on the disc. They want to get rid of this, the physical media ownership. That's what they want to do. That's exactly what they want to do. And the only people that are happy about this is because just look at physical media that they're phasing out. They're doing it with music. They've already done it with music. They've already done it with movies. Yeah, they still create DVDs, but let's be realistic now. Who really goes out and buys a DVD? It's on the decline. They want to phase it completely out so you don't own anything. And I'm never buying a game keycard. Simple as that. I'm never connecting my Switch to the internet. Because again, we've all seen the things that Nintendo can do. They can brick your console anytime that they want. So there you go, right there. They want it, so you don't own anything. You don't even own what you pay for anymore. The new PS5. You have to connect to the internet with the new PS5 to basically get this working. If the PS6 comes out and they're like, oh, it's all digital, that's the day I quit gaming. Simple as that. It's the day I quit gaming. I'm not going to support garbage like that. All the game key cards that came out, there's no excuse as to why they're a game key card. It's just nothing but greed. That's all it is. Pac-Man. That game's like 1 gig. It's greed. All the Nintendo channels that I've seen keep making the excuse up like, oh, these companies can't afford it. BS. It's bull. We're talking about Sega here. We're talking about Namco. We're talking about people like Atlas with the Persona 3. It's an excuse. These companies can afford it. You're telling me that Square Enix can't afford to put Final Fantasy on a cartridge, yet they've made billions from the Final Fantasy franchise. It's time to wake up and start believing these shells, because they don't care. They get free games from these companies anyway, so they don't care. They don't care about ownership because they're being paid to review games. So of course they're not going to say anything bad because, again, they're already digital anyway. And that's why I've never been a PC gamer, because with PC you don't even own your games unless you're on GOG. The only way you truly own your games on PC is you have to either legally emulate them or stuff like that. Like, I have a lot of games from years and years and years ago. This is when I was a teen, on a memory stick. I have the full files. They stop people from doing that, which is again another thing where you don't own it, because a lot of PC gamers are already digital anyway. That's why they don't care about it. But I'm not going to accept it. If a game is digital, if a game is a game key card, just make it digital. This is what gets me as well. They're like, oh, with the physical media, they keep saying, oh, physical discs and all that are just a waste of plastic. Then why are they creating game key cards? They just want to get rid of physical, that's what it is. They released the game key card to slowly but slowly normalize you to accept the digital age. And it's happening. People are just blindly believing these excuses. Like, oh, we can't put it on the full cartridge because it slows down the game, and the SSD on the Switch 2 can't handle it. BS. It's garbage. And anyone that believes those excuses, that's exactly why they continue to make game key cards. Now, as I said, if people want to buy game key cards, want to buy digital only, that's perfectly fine, but don't cry and complain when those games are ever delisted. Yes, obviously no one's going to live forever. That's obvious. If I bought many games that are digital, but I don't get attached to them, because I know one day they'll probably be gone. But it's just stupid, it honestly is. Like, I agree. PS2 and PS3 games are cheap. Hence why you got so many people doing retro gaming. Because retro gaming is actually cheaper. People think that retro gaming is a ridiculous price. Not really. I've seen them. You can get like a PS3 game for like 30 or 20, brand new. It's not as rare because the PlayStation era is going that way anyway. It really is going that way. PS6 is going to be digital only. I'll be shocked if it isn't. I honestly will be shocked if it isn't. So yeah, this is what they want to get rid of. They want to the only games that I own, every game that I own on PS5, PS4, PS3, PS2, Nintendo Switch 1, Nintendo Switch 2, are all on the disc, all on the cartridge. I'll never buy the game keycard crap. I said it from day one. I ranted about it back then, because it's just excuses. And then, like I said, the next step, once they make you accept, make you accept all of this, and you accept that you don't want to own games, movies, don't want to own music or anything like that. The next step's money. They're already doing that anyway. Then along comes here. We're completely getting rid of credit cards now. We're just going to give you a chip. And that chip is already in credit cards anyway. You'll use the chip, and if you don't take the chip, you won't be able to buy or sell. That's the final step. And it's already moving to there, like I said. It already is moving to there. It's going to happen. That's the last step. Money is gone. Because if you look at the American dollar and stuff like that, it's becoming more and more less valuable daily. Eventually the money's going to be worthless, so they're going to get rid of it. It only makes sense. That's what they want anyway, to get rid of money. They get rid of money, then they can monitor. There was even an ad that came out. I forgot what it was called. There was an ad that came out talking about the dangers of all digital. Because all digital is danger. You have no law, no freedom. They can literally monitor what you buy and what you do, because the government's already trying to do that anyway. So you'll have no rights, no freedom. And if they ever want to decide, hey, we now want to restrict you owning anything, they'll just say, hey, you have to pay like, then again, that's already like that anyway. Game Pass. You'll have to pay for a subscription service. There'll be no such thing as games. There'll be no consoles. It'll just be like cloud gaming, where you pay for a subscription and you own nothing. That's what they want anyway, because they want to kill physical media. I've said this for years. And the more people that accept it, the worse it's going to get. Because just even buying one game key card, you are basically saying to these devs, hey, we don't care about consumer rights. We don't care. Just take our rights away. That's basically what you're saying to these devs when you buy a game key card. You're basically saying we don't care about actually owning something, because that's what digital is. It's just a license. You don't own that game as it brought up the game. Anyone that owns Resident Evil Resistance will know you can't play it now. Unless you, just the same as like, this is an instance, PT, the Kojima, basically game demo, that was delisted from the store. The only way you could play it is if it was installed on your console. 2, there's many of the Telltale games that got delisted, they're not on the store anymore. Basically, if you don't own the physical of that certain game, you can't play it. Because that's what it's becoming. Certain games get delisted and they get banned. There's many games that have been banned, censored, and delisted from Steam. Once that happens, they're gone forever. These games are gone. And that's why I'll never accept the game keycard or digital era. I never will. Because it's pathetic. It really is pathetic. Because I don't own any game keycards, so I can speak out against it. I can say what I want about it, because I don't own a single one. They couldn't even put Pac-Man or Bravely Default, these are 1 gigabyte games, on a cartridge. And we lost, yeah, I know that. There's hardly any game stores in, so you're from the UK as well. There's hardly any game stores over here in the UK. This is why physical media is very, very hard. The only things that we have is like Argos and stuff like that. That's the only physical media. If you want physical media in the UK, you got to go to like second-hand pre-owned game shops where they sell pre-owned games. It's very hard in the UK for physical media. That's why I say it's more easier in America, because they have things like limited run. We don't have that over here. That's why it's so harder in the UK for physical media, and why it's beyond irritating. Yeah, PS3 was great. And what happened to Telltale Games? At this point, I'd say they're going out of business. They lost so many licenses, like The Walking Dead, the Telltale series. They used to sell it on the Switch. Unless you own that on the Switch, the physical, you can't get it anymore. All the games were delisted because they lost the license. I own the collection, where it has all 4 seasons. I guarantee that's rare now, because they lost the license. And at this point, The Wolf Among Us 2, it ain't happening. I mean, how long has it been since we've heard anything about that game? We've heard nothing. I'd say that game's dead. It ain't happening. But yeah, the gaming, like even that, people are accepting that. Battlefield, but I think it's Battlefield 6. The full game's on the disc, but you need an internet connection. So what's the point? What is the point of that physical game? Honestly, what is the point of that physical game if you need the internet? Just make it digital. Stupid, you don't get it. Oblivion, a game that I grew up with on the Xbox 360. They're releasing it on the PS5, the full game ain't on the disc. Indiana Jones, full game wasn't on the disc. They just give you they sell you a disc, but it's got nothing on it. And it's just a waste. Those like that are just exactly the same as game keycards. Don't make a physical disc if the game's not even on it. It's so irritating. It really is. It's beyond a joke. But that's what they want anyway, like I said. They want to get rid of this physical media. That's what they want. They want it to happen where this no longer exists. Again, as I said, the thing about owning these, you can sell it. Say you want to get rid of it, you've got things going on in your life, like, or you need money, you can sell these games. Digital, you can't. You literally buying digital games has so many downsides. You can't resell it. And people use that argument. Well, you can resell game key cards. Let's be realistic. Who's buying a second-hand game key card? I certainly ain't. Who's gonna buy a second-hand game key card? Well, that's what they want. They're like, oh, well, you can resell a game key card. It's not a physical. It's no different from a code in the box, or the Xbox games where you need an internet connection to and that's another thing that beyond, and they got away with that. Hogwarts Legacy on the PS5. You can only get 30 minutes into that game, and then you've got to download the rest of the game. And they got away with it. Nowhere on the box, nowhere on the case did it say, hey, you need the internet. Some of these companies, in my opinion, should be sued. Because by law, you've got a port, but it's become so acceptable now, so they don't have to do it, do they? It's become so acceptable that, because everyone has this basically thing where they believe every single physical game needs an internet connection when it doesn't. So they don't have to put it on the case anymore, because everyone's brainwashed into thinking that every single game needs a internet connection to play it. It doesn't. So that's the biggest brainwashing that I believe was part of the agenda. I believe that misinformation was put out to kill physical gaming, because it's not facts. Not every single game needs an internet connection. This one here, you can play this fully off the disc with no internet connection. The full game is on the disc. Same with this one. Full games on the disc. But they want to say, oh, you need an internet connection. No, you don't. They say it with the Switch as well. That's another thing. The blocking Mario Galaxy that came out recently. They blocked that on the Switch 2 behind an update. So basically, if you put Mario Galaxy into the Switch 2 and you are not connected to the internet and never update, you cannot play that game. Ever. We all know what's going to happen. I'm predicting it now. There's a Mario Galaxy movie coming out. I guarantee you they resell that collection. They'll bring out a Super Mario Galaxy 3 or something, and they'll have 1, 2, and 3. They'll sell those two games again with a Switch 2 version, because they did it with Mario Wonder. Mario Wonder doesn't work on the Switch 2 without an update. They've completely blocked it from working. So there's no doubt Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, no doubt Nintendo's gonna resell those two games again. Because there's no reason why they blocked that game from working just off the cartridge. They locked it behind an update. This garbage, man. Really is. Also another game, what physical media is good for. This game was censored. It was literally censored. Through the roof. This was censored. That's what it was. It was censored. We all know it was censored at launch. If you own the physical of this, you can avoid the censorship. If you had it digital, you had to accept the basically censorship. You had to accept it. Yeah. So that's another good thing about physical. You can avoid censorship. Also, The Witcher, when people were crying about the nudity being censored, if you have the physical of it, you can just disconnect from the internet and nothing's censored. So yeah, digital gaming is nothing but garbage. It's trash. The only people it's good for is if people don't want to basically they haven't got enough space or something like that. That's the only reason. But let's be realistic, who doesn't have a shelf? Me, and this is what you do as a physical gamer, I only buy games that I really want, and games that ain't woke. Those and ain't full of garbage. Then you're not going to run out of space. I've sold a lot of my physical games from the PS3 era, PS2. I used to own an Xbox 360 as well. The amount of games that were on the Xbox 360. So yeah, still own a PS4, and I still own a stuff like that. So yeah, probably gonna end it here, because I just wanted to rant about this, because it's just the truth, and I've ranted about it before. That I will not accept the game key cards because it takes away ownership, and it's not just about video games, it's about everything else. So that was the whole point of this video. So yeah, I think I'll end it here now. Appreciate everyone that came to the live stream. Really do appreciate the support over the live streams. Really do. I'll see you in the next video and live stream. Take care, everyone.